Hello, I'm Kim Sauer at National Electronics Week in Birmingham. I'm joined today by Karl Miles from the Peak Group. Karl, good to see you here in Birmingham. We're standing in front of one of your British manufactured machines from the Peak Group. Can you just tell us about the Peak Group? What makes up that group?
Okay, so the group's made up of 3 companies. So there's Peak Test Services, which is our distribution arm, and that distributes various Pro products and also a range of test plugs, and of course the Virginia Panel mass interconnect system. There's then the Peak Production Equipment part of the business, and this then takes all of these individual parts, and with our machine shop, and and our wiring shop, and our electronic design team, and our mechanical design team, we then actually design the system you see behind us here. So all the parts are manufactured, assembled in our offices in Letchworth, and that then gives us a complete test solution for the end customer. Obviously now we need something to run on this system, so that's where then Peak software comes in. So they write the software then that sits on top of the system to obviously operate the actual system for the customer.
Okay, so really a full service solution then that you can provide to your customers.
Exactly.
I sort of hinted that it's a British manufactured machine, so all the hardware around that you see is made here. How important is that history and that base and that knowledge that you have?
The key thing for our customers is they know that it's all within one site. So all the capability is in-house. We only subcontract our CE marking to a UCAS accredited company, and painting and finishing is contracted as well. The rest of it is all done in-house. We have full control of the process, and that's now been established just over 30 years now. So we've got good heritage in that, and our customers see that, our experience that comes from that we've worked across many different products, and they know the guys that they're working with. So it's really been key to have that. And also for the control point of view, we're not going out to offshore or anything, or even locally to actually outsource those elements then. So we have full control, and the customers know where everything's coming from then.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about those markets. So first of all, UK, since we're at a UK-based show, what sort of trends are you seeing? What are the people asking for?
Okay, so we're on our aerospace and defence side of the business. We're seeing a lot of systems being built here in the UK for products that are designed here. And some of those systems are only getting shipped offshore. So actually they're going out to China, India, or the United States, and they're actually testing the product there. But what's nice to see is the design control is here in the UK, but then obviously some of the manufacturing is going offshore, and that's pretty much a typical scenario we see across all of our industry really. Some of the automotive companies we deal with are the same. The design's been done here, test solution is developed here, but obviously manufacturing may be offshore. So for us it's very good business because everything stays here in the UK, and then obviously for the customer it's good that we then support those countries then from here in the UK then.
Yeah. And generally the feeling I get when I'm walking across the show floor here and talking to people around the globe really, the electronics market and the demand for solutions is growing. Are you experiencing that, and what sort of investments are you making to keep up with that sort of demand?
Okay, so the primary investment we've got to make is in our people. So we'll continue to grow our team, so we're just up to about 65 people now, and we still have open vacancies, so if anybody needs a job, please get in touch with us. And then on top of that, there's also investment in machinery. So we've invested in 2 new lathes last year, and then this year we've just invested in a brand new 3D printer that's given us new capability and enhanced our production opportunities. Also invested in a new CNC machine, again with higher throughputs, faster speed, more tooling, etc. And this is really to try and keep up with the amount of work we're now, as a team continues to grow, we either add more resource or we add more machine capability to achieve that.
Okay, so it's capability, but also the customers are becoming more and more demanding. There's all sorts of developments going on within the electronics manufacturing process. So you probably have to keep up with those demands. For instance, miniaturization, I guess, is something. Complexity. Those sort of buzzwords are going around, but they're real buzzwords. So You know, you
Correct,
need
yeah.
machines to be able to cope with that.
Yeah, so you've probably seen, there's been a continued shift away from kind of your in-circuit testing and more to where the functional type tester. And then when you move to the functional type tester, now rather than having probes going in, typically we connect into the device under test through the actual device's interfaces. So now we need new solutions to actually connect to those interfaces that aren't necessarily nice to connect to. So therefore you see some of the products we use from Egmatech, where there's test plugs which actually plug into kind of the Ethernet, USB, and those type of interfaces. And then with the 3D printer, we've got some capabilities to make up custom test interfaces to go straight onto bespoke interfaces that some of our customers present us with, particularly from the aerospace side of the industry.
And is that a trend that's increasing, that people want more and more bespoke capability?
For our customer base, yeah, the off-the-shelf solution for some of the stuff nowadays is just not available. Rather than it being a standard bed of nails test fixture, that's not really the way anymore. It's more of this functional tester, test systems, and that can then, with an adapter, test different products. So again, this is where the 3D printer comes in. We can make nice curved nests to hold the products. And the market for the UK is generally more higher value, lower volume, but higher value. And then for that, the customers are willing to invest in the tooling and the test systems to test those in a reliable and quality way. And sometimes it's because, obviously to get the manpower to test them is not always available either. And that skill level's not always there, or to get the repeatability, to get the quality of the actual test then. And also for these level of, for the high value items, quite often they want a nice test report produced that looks the business as well. So I think the customers are demanding more of our customers to actually say, they want this high level reporting there.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, that gives us a nice overview of the Peak Group and what you do. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And I look forward to talking to you next time and catching up with the developments of Peak.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers now.
Thanks.